Again, good morning, Lions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, Jim, let's go.
We do have a few things to get
Jess?
accomplished today. So let's do some happy dollars.
Okay.
Please try to make them brief. Lion Louie.
So the president is not here.
Get me?
Darlene?
Yeah.
Oh, acting president Darlene. Fellow friends and guests. Castle Rock Buns are here. Anyway, my happy dollar is for the eye screening. We went up to Tootle, screened 352 kids, and there was 31 referrals. We had this one mother that said that last year, because of the eye screening, they found a problem in her child, and now the child is doing better in school. So we are doing good things. And anyway, that's what we got.
Good job. Good job. Lion Dwayne.
Happy President Darlene, fellow wives and guests, I'm just happy.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. Lion Floyd. There was a time when I would have called you Shorty.
You get bald on top, you know that? Acting King Lion, so I can get a thank you bottom here. I got a really happy dollar. My coach did it again to beat up on Stanford. What do you think?
Yay.
Yay.
Another. That might not be your turn. I got another happy dollar because they're going to beat up on the Beavers this weekend.
Yeah. Lion Pat.
Okay, Hal.
I think you might show Lions a guess. I get to brag again about my grandson in Sacramento State. They won again. There's a three-way tie for first place. They're fourth in their division. And this is the first time they have gone to the playoffs since they started in 1993, since they joined that 1AA division. So we're pretty excited for them. They have one more game, but they are guaranteed to go to the playoffs now.
Okay. Let's go this direction. Little birdie flew through the window and mentioned the birthday boy. Birthday boy. No, I believe we're talking John Claypool.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, how about it? What do you think? It's the good old, okay, let's say, yeah, okay, here we go. Happy birthday. Oh, such a lovely thing. John, yeah, words from John. Pass on here, John. Thank you for your wonderful birthday wishes. That was really moving. Since we're keeping this short, I want to talk about one of the best shortest speeches in the world. 407 years ago, our forefathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Anybody heard this before?
Yeah.
It's too bad we don't have more men like President Lincoln in the world today. Had one of the best weekends of my life down there with my family. I turned 7 decades old. Which the old adage, if I'd have known I was going to live this long, I'd have taken a lot better care of myself, is now very applicable. And I'm happy for being healthy still.
Hi there.
Hi.
Ask
I just
District
want to
Governor
make sure
Mark.
I'm on the list. I may
Okay.
not be.
No, you're not. No.
Announcements.
Okay.
We've
Fellow
got
Lions
Jimbo's
and
toy
guests.
bank.
Okay. Okay.
First dollar, there's $5 still, I won't go through them there, but first dollar continuing in the tradition. I talked about a lot of the old lions that have been around in previous $2, like John Claypool and Ernie Koontz and Tom Hinshaw. Today, I'm grateful for a project. The idea for Walk the Knock came from this club. It is now the biggest food drive in our area, Clark County, portions of Lewis County. It's an amazing thing, very heartwarming, very proud that that got me the spirit of Lion and the heart of Lions to do all that. Sad dollar, dollar number 2 for missing Dick McIntyre's service. Yeah, I was a good friend of Roy McIntyre, so we were around the McIntyre family quite a bit growing up and hated to miss that. However, the 2 happy dollars that follow that are the trip to Hawaii. I got to meet my birth father and family over there. That was wonderful. It was also nice to be in Hawaii last week, enjoy the sunshine. And the final dollar, seems like when I was coming home, going through the baggage, if anybody's been in Honolulu Airport, it is a zoo. They go one area, put your bags there, and then you have to carry them all the way through the airport to another area to drop them off their agricultural inspection. Somewhere in there, I left my sleep apnea machine. Got a call this morning from Lost and Found. As long as I got the information with a FedEx account number to them by 10 o'clock Hawaiian time, which is noon our time, I would get my machine. And I accomplished that about 20 minutes ago.
Whoa, Sandy, I gotta tell you, yesterday we spent the day at Columbia Heights Elementary School, and if you've ever been a part of this reading program, I'm speaking to the club as a whole. No, acting president Darlene and other Lions and guests. This lady is what I have called an extraordinary reader to elementary children. If you've ever heard Sandy Cat read to the kids, you'll know what I'm talking about. Is that a grateful dollar? Would you like to have a word of, okay, no, I don't want to talk. Okay, David, you got your mouth full, well, let's go somewhere else. Okay, past council chair, Al.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tail Twister. For Acting President Darlene, co-lines and guests, I mean, the Cougars have a defense. Yeah, they have, but the defense allowed less points. Okay, whatever.
So they could win.
Whatever.
Presiding Officer Darlene, fellow Lions, yes, I have 2 happy dollars. One is I'm happy that past District Governor Shorty, you notice he's used the word short 52 times today. But I think he's growing. Somebody pointed out over here, he was off ill for a while, and I think he put on a growth spurt because you're coming up through your hair. Now, the other happy dollar is I'm happy to be here today and see a past council chairman that went from Dress for Success to roadside assistant.
District Governor Steve. No, not you, the real Steve over there, the real district governor. Fellow Lions guest and Darlene, acting president. That's a happy dollar just because I'm laughing. Nobody acknowledged the presence of our present district governor.
And now, under a new title, second Vice District Governor, the love of my life, Maryland.
So it is District Governor Steve visiting us, Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions and guests. One of my happy dollars was the fact that I was officially nominated and voted in at the cabinet meeting last Saturday as second Vice District Governor. So, I mean, what else am I happy about?
That's don't cheer. Great.
President, acting Darlene, fellow Lions and guests. The reason Steve Stevie likes going up there to the elementary school. He can look at kids eyeball to eyeball. Happy dollar. Sunday afternoon, past President Ken and I had a nice little venture. We did the hoop shoot deal for the Elks Club, and that was a heck of a lot of fun.
Again, Acting President Darlene and the man over here, the pin guy, fellow Lions. I have another happy dollar. I am so proud of our children, our adult children. We have a daughter in Ohio who, I don't even know for sure what the name of the company is, but she started a new job. And she is kind of a pistol when it is to go to work and whatnot. And they saw her abilities and they put her in vice president of the company like that. So that's pretty exciting. And then we also have a son up north that is moving from one mortgage company to another one. And he will be a branch manager for another company of 15 staff members, plus the 2 that he had with him. So we're pretty proud of that.
We asked him for send money. Past President Patrick.
District Governor Steve, Acting President. Darlene, fellow Lions and guests, going to be a short one. Did you notice I was looking straight at Steve? Did anybody pick that up? So the $5 is what's left over from the 20 that I had to use to go buy some analgesics and other things. The long trek northward has begun. Started moving the furniture out of the South Council House, moving up to Castle Rock to Agent Place with Jerry's parents. Now, of course, they just got back from a 71-day cruise to Western, was it New Zealand, Australia? These people are in 100 times better shape than I am. Okay? Not joke. And but we're getting up there to preemptively in case something should happen. But that's what's going on in my life. So if you see me wandering around with boxes in my hand, go to my car, pick up a box, and follow me. Okay?
Got it. Okay, anyone else? Whoa, whoa. That's our chair, Gary.
Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions and guests, I'm happy that later this afternoon I'll be picking up my older sister flying in from Illinois. And we're actually going to have Thanksgiving together, the first time in 52 years.
Oh.
Right on.
Definite pause for celebration. Unless there's anyone else, Phil, you got a word of wisdom from
No wisdom from
the
here.
Gooey Ducks? Darlene, take it away.
Let's call this meeting to order. Invocation, Ken Potero, please.
Dear Father, we bow our heads and thank you for the privilege we have together this day. It's the pride of a wonderful organization, the Longview Pioneer Lions Club. And we thank you for the many blessings that have bestowed upon us, and ask you to bless this food that we partake of this day, that will nourish and strengthen our bodies and give us the ability to move forward on the mission of serving our community. With love in our hearts, we thank you for all. In Jesus' name, amen.
The pledge by Rosie Dickerson. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our song, led by Phil Olson. God's realities of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims bright, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Okay, introduction of our guests, please.
Acting President Darlene, Lions and guests. We have our District Governor, Steve Doniger. Peterson, and Mike Shannon.
Okay, Marge, any sunshine report? Okay. Okay, announcements. Thursday board meeting at 7 o'clock at Kelso Elks. Tom Fulton has an announcement.
President, Steve, Darlene. Hey, hold on. Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions and guests. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock starts the lights at the lake with the city. We need lots of help. So the city won't do it without our help. So we need to have a bunch of people show up. And then again on Saturday at 9 to finish up what we don't get tomorrow. Thank you.
Marilyn Patterson.
Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions, I just wanted to thank the people who were involved in the reading program. I don't think everyone's here, but if you were involved, please stand. I would just like to appreciate you, Sandy, to stand. We actually, when you add all of us up together, there was 40 man-hours during the course of yesterday, and I don't think anyone could say they didn't have fun, so it was a good time.
Okay, Paul Spears on the bell ringing.
Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions and guests, I put sign-up sheets over the table there for December the 14th, the bell ringing for the Salvation Army. I know we have lots of things going on, so we'll be a little thin, but we have one less time this year because this starts till 10. We used to start at 9. So we have 4 sessions with 2 people at each door. And we have plenty of time yet before we get that started, but I'll bring the sign-in sheet in every week until that time. So thank you for signing up.
Okay, Hal Palmer. Short, please.
President Darlene, acting, fellow Lions and guests. I want to remind some of the people here that I've got some of the Campaign 100 donation forms, and I'll leave some right back here where you put your batches away, or I'll bring you one, okay?
All right, Carrie Ann Botero. Okay.
Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions and guests. I have a sign-up sheet going around for the Jumbo's Toy Run. The Jumbo's Toy Run is December 1st, which is on a Sunday. We're going to meet over at the Kelso Longview Elks at noon, and then probably about an hour is all it's going to take. So we could really use this whole room that's full. We could use everybody in here. We're going to just block traffic for them. It is a toy run, so if you're interested in bringing a toy or would like to prior, I'll collect those. And it's a great cause and really a quick, good event. So max time about an hour is all it takes. Please sign up.
Okay, Greg Firth.
President, acting Darlene Cohen to guest. Walk-in knock is coming up December 7th. Got a sign-up sheet back over here on the table. We need lots and lots of help. Last year, Mark got on Facebook, put a word out that we need help. If you're on Facebook, do the same if you would. Last year, we had enough people that it went pretty doggone smooth during the day. So, more people, the easier it is. And please, please sign up.
Okay, Phil Olson.
Acting
Acting President Darlene, fellow Lions and guests, I just want to let you know that the badge box, the badges will be renumbered before the next meeting. And in the past, that has caused tremendous angst and confusion. And I know you won't let me down. We'll have lots of angst and confusion next week. But your badge will be under a different number. And if you look at the sign-in sheet, when you sign in, that will be your number. So you can do this.
Okay, are there any more announcements that anybody needs?
Zone chair maybe?
Oh, Cindy Fickett on visitations.
Acting President Darlene, guests and members, we have a Christmas party. I know it's visitation, Christmas party coming up. It is Friday, December 6th, not any other number. Friday, December 6th. And it starts at 5 o'clock for social, and then we'll start having dinner at 6. It's a potluck dinner, so you can sign up here and then write what you're bringing. That way there someone can see, you know, what everybody else is bringing. Maybe not bring 2 of them. We can have 2, which is fine. And Kathy, did you want to say something? Well, yeah, we're having a meeting right after this. So if you are interested, please meet with us somewhere.
On the screen, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is the ages of the kids from the community center that we will be bringing presents for. The ages are like 0 to 3 years. They're all up there, if you can read them. If not, just get with me, okay?
And 2, we have the screeners, eye screeners. We have a couple of dates here if you're interested. If you don't sign up and you show up anyway, that would be fine too, because we need people to come in and start learning how to do this. We had 8 people last week, or 10 people. Yeah, but 2 though. And we just rotated so everybody could get a feel of how it runs. So here are the dates, and sign up when you feel comfortable coming in and doing eye tests. That's it.
Okay. Okay, I would like to present District Governor Steve Stottinger. He has some presentations today.
Thank you, Acting President Darlene, Lions and guests. As a district governor, of course, we receive awards for different different Lions clubs, and unfortunately, sometimes we get these awards after I've done my official visitation. So these awards will be presented to some individuals here in this club. And as you know, Lions Clubs International, when you reach a milestone in your career as a Lion, they give you a chevron or award. So I'm going to be presenting some chevrons to some individuals in this club today. All right, here it is. For 10 years as a Lion, do we have a Lion, Teresa Floyd? Okay, so some of them won't be here, and I'll leave these here, and then the president can give them out at a later time. For 10 years, Lion Ron Horn. Okay. You got lots of them.
These aren't attendance awards, are they?
No, these are years as a Lion. 10 years for Lion Diane Searing. That is. Okay. Maybe I should just take off and go back home. Huh? For 10 years, Lion Miss Priscilla Richards. Yeah. All right. We're still here with 10 years. Lion John Palmer, Jr.
I'm gonna get one soon, Steve.
All right. It's these 10 years of people that just aren't here, huh? For 10 years, Lion Marnine Botero.
And the crowd goes wild.
Congratulations.
Wait for the picture.
Yeah. Earn her pictures. I'm supposed to learn how to smile, I heard. Okay. All right. Now we'll step up for 15 years as a lion. Lion Rex Boswell. Yeah. All right. I know this individual's here. 15 years. Ken Botero. Congratulations, Ken. All right, for 15 years as a lion, Lion Harold Malone. All right. And hopefully I won't mess up these names too bad. 15 years as a lion. Lion Eric Gutamos. Okay. All right. For 15 years as a lion. Lion Vicky Wellenbrock. Now you're going to have some work to do. All right. For 20 years as a lion. Lion Kurt Sasha. Or S. Sasha.
Not here.
Okay. Lion for 20 years, Lion George Raider. Years.
It was unanimous.
All right, for 20 years, and I know she's not here, but Lion Cindy Sessions. All right, I guess I'll have to do this. For 25 years as a lion, Lion past District Governor Steve Patterson. Congratulations.
All right, okay.
Wait long for that one.
All right.
Oh, we can name a few more.
For 30 years as a lion, Lion Jim Stonier. Okay. Yeah, like I say. Okay, we're up to 35 years as a lion. Lion Greg Prestegard. Man. Okay. Lion for 35 years as a lion. Lion Terry Woodruff. You joined young, right? Congratulations.
Thank you.
But his sponsor was old.
All right, for 40 years as a lion, Lion Rick Johnson. Not here. Okay, and I want to make a little note of this. All these ones I've given you so far, there's been little lines, little bars around there, up to 40 years. Well, this next one is for a lion that's going to be 45 years. And at that point, they change it, and instead of the bars and stuff, they actually put the number. Maybe because we're so old, we can't. All right, for 45 years as a lion, Lion Larry Hansen. He's coming.
Hard to be humble, isn't it, Larry?
Congratulations, Larry. All right, a couple more left. Here we go. For 50 years as a lion, Lion Don Donaldson. Not here. We'll give this out. For 50 years, Lion George Moore. So this can be forwarded on, unfortunately. All right, and last for 65 years as a lion, Lion George Schwartz.
Yeah.
65 years. All right. So, congratulations on these milestones. I will leave this here for the president, and when these individuals show up, or you can give them out. All right, that's for individuals being a lion. I also received, and I'd like to have your past president Ken come up, Ken Botera, right? In our district for 2018-2019, only two clubs received the Club Excellency Award. And this award was based on the application received and qualified for the awards. During your club visits or appropriate time, please present these clubs with these awards. The Longview Pioneer received for 2018-2019 the Club Excellency Award. Here's a patch, and here's a pin for you. By the way, the only other club in our district was our newest club, the Cascadia Tech down here in Vancouver. They received it. So it was the largest club and the newest club. Congratulations.
Thank you. Way to go, Ken.
All right, I'm just about done. Yeah. Just if anybody's interested in, I don't think I had them here before, but the 2020 MD19 Lions Club pins, the state pins are now out. They're a small one and a big one. They're $4 a set. There's 3 of us in the district, in the multiple district, that are selling these. So if anybody's interested, these are the Singapore ones. If you remember last year we had the Italy one, the Milan ones, and the prior of the year a different type. But anyway, I have them available, just to let you know. Thank you, appreciate giving me the time to present these awards.
And now I'll have Pat Palmer come up and introduce our guest speakers for today.
Thank you very much, Acting President. Darlene, fellow Lions and guests, I know this is the day you've been waiting for, my final program of the month. Yay! You're all kind of mean. Huh? Nope. Only that I'm related to you. Only that I'm related to you and admit it. Yep, that's all. No, everybody gives my brother such a bad time, but here's what my mom said when I was very little. He deserves it. Speaking about when kids were kind of little, we've all heard, seen that situation where a neighbor, someone maybe you worked with, came upon a hard time. Families broke up. Children went to different places. Today's guest speakers will be telling us some of those stories, and mostly they'll be talking about the successes of how it is that we get children who are in danger into a safer space, and how they're doing it, and why they're doing it. First, we're going to hear from Rachelle Ireton from Fostering Together. She's got some very salient words. Please give her your full Lions attention. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for having me this afternoon. I am with Fostering Together. I'm the liaison for the Cowlitz and Wahkiakum counties. Fostering Together is a nonprofit program contracted with the state to help with recruitment and retention of foster families. I just wanted to share numbers, because numbers always get people's attention, and a lot of people don't know the numbers for our county. I put a couple pieces of paper on your tables if you want to follow with me. Washington State right now has 10,068 children in foster care. So across the nation, we are in a crisis as far as kids in care, lack of homes for kids, just an increase in addiction, is bringing more kids into care. And of those 10,000 children, 2,200 of them are waiting for their forever homes. Some of them are already placed in homes and they're just going through the adoption process. Some of them are just in a foster home and they're waiting for someone to decide and choose and take them and love them and give them their forever home. And then as far as Cowlitz and Wahkiakum County, we have 266 children in care. And this number is really, I usually get jaws dropped when I give that number, but I want to share, if you look at Thurston County with 280,000 people in their population, and Cowlitz County and Wahkiakum with 110,000 people, Thurston has 10 more kids in care than we do. So if you think of that number, it's mind-blowing. And that's a recent statistic I received, and it's just insane to me that we have that many children needing homes, which brings us to the lack of homes we have. We have 96 homes in Cowlitz and Wahkiakum County. So of those homes, we don't have beds. So children are going to different... Is that better? Children are going to different counties. We have a lot of kids who... Is that better? We have a lot of kids going to to Clark County, to Thurston County. We have people all the way in Port Angeles because that's where a bed was available. So kids are being brought into care. They're taken from whatever may be happening in their home. That's what they know. They know their community parks. They know their schools. They know their neighbors. They know, just places they can go to be safe. We're taking them out of those homes and we're taking them to a whole nother county. We're putting them in a bed in a home where they don't know anybody. They're starting a new school. They don't have those safe places. So my job is to just share these numbers and bring awareness to our community that we need more homes here. And unfortunately, that's hard for me to do because it takes a while to get licensed. I can come and I can say, we need homes, but you're not going to get licensed tomorrow. And so it's a difficult balance of encouraging people to stay in the licensing process and know once you get licensed, the opportunities are going to be there to help our kids. Our logo, we say our community, our children, because these are our kids to take care of. They're our neighbors, they're our grandchildren, they're our friends' kids. I like to do a little interactive game. How many of you have ever been a licensed foster home or have adopted children? If you can raise your hand. Keep your hand up. How many of you have thought about fostering or thought about adopting? Put your hand up. Keep your hand up. How many of you know someone who has been licensed or has adopted or has fostered? How many of you are a spitting distance of someone with their hand up? This is how close you are to being able to help our children. So there's so many ways to support them. If you can't be a licensed home or if you can't adopt, you can volunteer. You can volunteer your time with the Royal Family Kids, which you guys are going to hear all about in a little bit. We have CASA. CASAs are the voices for our children. You get some training, and then you're the one that goes to court and speaks on behalf of the child, what is in their best interest. Because often I feel our children's voices get lost. And so that's your job as a CASA, and they are always in need of volunteers. We have a new ministry that we created a little over a year ago. It's called Fostering Love. And what we have done is we have brought people from different churches come together the first Monday of every month, and we talk about how as a community can we fill in those gaps? How can we support the department, support our foster parents? What can we do to help them? And we're always happy to have more people come and join us. We pray, over our foster community. We just talk about upcoming events. How can we get involved and how can we help? We have Foster Parents Night Out. If you want to spend some time with the kiddos, Foster Parents Night Out is the first Friday every month at Kelso Christian Assembly for 3 hours, 6:30 to 9, or 6 to 9, sorry. The foster parents bring the kids to the church. They get dinner, they get a play, they get a story, and you just get to hang out. If we have a 1-to-1 ratio, that's even better because these kids get just loved on and just shown, how people care. We have Fostering Together, which I'm part of, and we do 3 big events every year. We do a back-to-school event, we do a Christmas event, which is coming up, and we do a caregiver appreciation event. The caregiver event, we just try to honor and love on our foster parents who are in it every day. They're in there with the trauma. They're in there with the kids having visits. They're in there trying to just show these children what hope and love look like. Our Christmas event, so this is my 3rd year here. Our first year we had 36 children attend. Second year we had 58, and last year we served about 110. So I'm so excited to see it continuing to grow. And all the events that we do are all donation-based and volunteer-based. So if you ever want to donate or volunteer, please let me know. And then our back-to-school drive, we were able to fill a truck trailer full of supplies for our kids with beautiful, instead of the backpacks that are $4 that are like one color, we had fun colored backpacks, and the kids were just so excited to have a backpack. A lot of our kids have never had a backpack. They've never been able to pick out a backpack. They don't have school supplies. They don't have Christmases, birthday cards, all of these things. So we try to do these events to just let them have these experiences. The other thing I wanted to share, and I am drawing a blank, is that, all of the things I put on your tables, these flyers, if you can take them, if you know someone who's interested in volunteering or fostering, or if you have a place of business that you can hang up a flyer, if you have a restaurant you visit or a grocery store, if you can just share this information, because awareness is huge. And you can see on this one it says 93,000 children are in care. Those numbers are already going up. 3 years ago when I started, we had 226 children in care, and now we have 266. So we're seeing an increase in those numbers. And in Cowlitz County, the number one reason children are brought into care is neglect. And we see, we know people, we see our community. There's a huge increase in addiction, and that's why those children are being removed, because they're being neglected. Their parents aren't there to care for them. So when people have concerns about becoming a foster parent, it's like, how am I going to take in this child with all these behavior issues? A lot of these times, these kids just need guidance. They need love. They need stability. They need things that aren't hugely trauma related. And not to say that we don't have some that come from huge abusive situations, but myself, we've been licensed for over 3 years, and when my daughter was 2, we looked into licensing, and I had that same thought. I'm like, how can I bring a child into my home and let them go? And I apologize, I always cry here. 2 years later, I had a relative come into care, and without hesitation, I called my husband and I said, we need this child in our home. And 2.5 years later, we were able to adopt him, and we now have been able to grow our family, and he's such a blessing and such a joy. And I was so glad I was able to look past all of my fears of opening my home and realizing, and we would tell my daughter at the time, who was 4, we're going to love him a little bit or a long bit. We don't know how long we get to love him, but we get to love him. So if you can share that, with people or people who might be interested in somehow supporting our foster community, we have so many different ways we can connect. And I am going to hand out this sign-up sheet. If you're interested in foster information, volunteering opportunities, or helping with donations and drives, if you just want to put your name, email if you have it, or a phone number, so I'll pass that around. But thank you guys for having me.
And now we're going to hear from Jess McCloud from Royal Family Kids.
Hi, so I can skip that part. That my name's Jess McCloud. Thank you so much for having us here today. I've had the honor of serving as camp director the last 2 summers for our local chapter of Royal Family Kids. We minister to the abused, the abandoned, and the neglected children that make up our local foster care system. These are children who have been thrown up against walls, beaten with 2x4s, and locked in closets. Children who have been whipped with bicycle chains and burned with cigarettes. And we get to take them away to the Cathedral of the Outdoors and to a 1-week sleepaway summer camp that's free for them, and plant seeds of hope in their hearts. And we then invite them back during the school year for a mentor club program as well, so that we can strengthen those relationships forged at camp. The statistics that you see from kids that have grown up in foster care are disheartening, and as soon as that warms up, it'll be up here too. Across the nation, there's about 500,000 children in the foster care system. 50% of the girls in foster care will be pregnant by the age of 19. 74% of prison inmates were once in foster care. 50% of young adults will be incarcerated within 2 years of aging out of foster care. And 80% of the inmates on death row were once in foster care. So I picture, and I know this is stereotypical, one of those big, burly, scary-looking guy sitting on death row. And then I picture him as a 7-year-old. And I picture just the opportunity that we have to change the trajectory of not only his life, but all the lives that he hurt on his road to getting onto death row. And some people ask if 1 week can really make a difference at summer camp. And the founder of Royal Family Kids likes to ask you to consider that it took one moment for abuse to affect these children for the rest of their lives. And we have 1 million moments at camp to make a difference. And also, who are we to limit what God can do with 1 week as well? At camp, we have a lot of firsts, and Rachelle talked a little bit about how some kiddos in foster care have never gotten to pick out their own backpack even or something. At camp, we have Wednesday is everyone's birthday because some kids in foster care have never had a birthday party celebrated. Some have never received just a simple birthday card, let alone birthday presents. We also teach kids how to ride a bike. Sometimes they've never had anyone teach them how to ride a bike. We go for nature hikes, and we have Camp Aunt and Uncle and Camp Grandma Grandpa at camp. Some of the kids have never met anyone in their extended family. They don't know who their dad is. They don't know any of their grandparents or aunts and uncles. We have just a whole week full of firsts for them. And we've got plenty of children who've never even been out of town, just out of Longview or Kelso, let alone gone away for a 2-hour trip on a bus and then arrive in the woods to experience the outdoors. And for our local chapter, the way it got started was, if anyone has Netflix, I have the DVD at home program. I don't know if anyone still does that too. But there's a movie called Camp, and it was recommended in my little list of movies I would like. And I watched it, and it was about a summer camp for foster kids. And I just decided I wanted to go volunteer at one. This was about 3 years ago that I saw it. And I started doing the research, and there were none in our area for kids in foster care. And in doing my research, I came across Royal Family Kids Camp. It had been started in the 80s down in Southern California, and it's now international. And I found out later that's what that movie was based on. It's not a documentary, it's Hollywood's version, so we don't go on dates at camp or anything like that. So the volunteers don't, neither do the children. But so I do have copies of that if anyone wants to see it, but it just gives a good glimpse of what that week of summer camp is like. And after doing that research, then the way local chapters get started is a local church just steps forward and says, we'll spearhead the launch of one. So I went to our pastor at the time, and he said, sure, go do it. Because usually if you take something to church, they say, okay, you do it, because they're short on volunteers. So we went to director's training and came back and just started fundraising and recruiting. We had our second camp this summer for our local chapter, and in addition to club, the second phase of Royal Family Kids is mentoring club. In addition to camp, the second phase is mentoring club, and that's where we invite our campers from the summer back during the school year to be matched up with mentors, and they spend 4 hours a month with these mentors, and then in addition, the mentors bring the kiddos to a monthly club meeting. And while the 1 week of camp is super fun for the kids, it's like a lot of them haven't been to Disneyland or ever on vacation. It's like their Disneyland for their life. But that also means they go back home to their regular hard lives after camp, which can be difficult to navigate through. So we're really excited. We're hoping to launch Mentor Club this coming fall. We're still recruiting volunteers for that phase as well. And it just gives us that opportunity to walk and guide them through when they get back home to their hard lives. We have a lot of ways to serve at camp. Because we are 100% volunteer run and 100% donation based, there's ways at camp, in town, all year long. At camp, a lot of people just picture that camp counselor role and they're intimidated by that. They do call it the best worst week of your life because it's hard. It's emotionally exhausting, it's physically exhausting. We eat, sleep, and live there with the kids. It's like Vacation Bible School is hard enough, right? And that's only usually a couple hours a day, but 24/7 we're there with the kids. But you also, anyone that I've talked to of our volunteers has said they felt more blessed to have gotten to serve than they were even able to bless. It's an honor to be able to serve. And so there are less intense roles than just camp counselor. There's photographer, AV tech, arts and crafts, like I mentioned, camp grandma, grandpa, aunt and uncle. There's actors in the drama play. There's just decorating for our different events. It takes a lot of work to throw a big birthday bash one day and then a formal tea party the next day for them. We do a lot of set changes and stuff. And then Bible story time, stuff like that. In town, if the only thing you can do is pray for us, that's the biggest need we have. So if you wanted to be a prayer partner, that would be such a blessing. Posting flyers, like Rachelle mentioned. I don't have a copy, but mine, do you mind holding up that trifold right there? Yeah, that's mine. The one with the purple and the red, that's Royal Family Kids. So anything about that, any of those that you'd like to share, we have flyers for different events throughout the year. Thank you. For our annual fundraisers and other things, if you have a place that you can share those. So we have posting flyers. We have some people are good talkers and approaching businesses for silent auction donations. That's hard for me sometimes, but I have one lady, it never hurts to ask, so she just walks right in, can I speak to your manager? And she can ask for things, and she gets things too. But so if that's you, that's always a blessing as well. So there's just, there's a whole bunch of, sorry, all these things are on there. Different ways to help. We have, and I mentioned at our different events as well. Planners for our different events, our fundraisers or event coordinators, or helping us to get more places that we can share the word and just educate. So whether it's at your church or other workplace or other groups that you're a participant of. And I mentioned our biggest fundraiser of the year is a royalty party. So that's on the next slide. We haven't set the date yet for this coming one. It's late April or early May. And there's a couple things on there too. And we have costume characters. This is a fundraiser, so this one isn't for the kids who come to camp, but the kids that do come, like some of them, I've heard back from parents that were like donors, just the fundraiser attendees saying, my kids loved this better than Disneyland. They were scared at Disneyland, but they get to see the costume characters. So we need volunteers for that if you have grandkids or kids that might be interested in that. They do photos with them and sign autographs. A couple of them are from the LCC choir, so they sing the songs. So it's a multi-generational event. It's not just for kids. A lot of the attendees just loved it too. All the tables are decorated by a hostess. So if you like decorating, we're looking for more of those. All of the tables are decorated in either your favorite storybook or movie theme. So we had everything from Snow White to Coco to Up to Pirates of the Caribbean and Star Wars and 101 Dalmatians, so everything in between. Our hostesses at the tables just go all out decorating. So we could definitely use plenty of those. We have face painting. Our silent auction is the biggest part where we earn funds for that. So anyone who has a connection to donating a silent auction item would be amazing. And it's just a fun event for all ages there. It does cost us $600 for each camper we take to camp and $300 for each volunteer we take. The dates for our next year's camp is up here. Our goal is to take more and more campers each year because right now we're taking about 32 kiddos, and Rachelle shared that there's over 200 in care. We do only take ages 7 to 11 because for anyone that has grandkids of different ages or kids of different ages, it's hard to have a program that appeals to multiple ages. So that is the age that we're trying to intervene at. And I mentioned Mentor Club, that's for the same age range. And the third aspect of Royal Family Kids Camp is TRAC, which is Teen Reach Adventure Camp. So our hope is that we continue to grow. We build up camp, we build up Mentor Club, and then we can start TRAC for the teens as well. And then our biggest hope is that those, once they've reach 17 or 18 years old, they come back as counselors to volunteer at camp, because other camps that have been in existence for over 30 years, they've seen that. We just had our first graduate from camp become a director and the founding director, start her own Royal Family Kids Camp. So that's just amazing to see those kids come back and just be able to not only change the statistics that they might have ended on, but then to become giving members of society as well, and then to reach down and help others in their situation. I'll just leave you with one story. You can share because I'm almost done. So at camp our first summer, as each kid gets off the bus when they arrive, we have a red carpet and we just welcome them. The reason we're called Royal Family, one reason is because we get to introduce them to their Heavenly Father, who's a king, which means they're princes and princesses, and they don't always get treated like that. So at camp, we try to treat them as royalty. So they get off the bus, and as each one gets off, I whisper to them, do you want a quiet welcome or a loud welcome? Because all of our volunteers are already there on each side of the red carpet to cheer for them. And so we don't want to overwhelm them, though. So I get some that say really loud. So the crowd goes wild cheering for them as they come off. But then some say quiet. So our first summer, we had everyone get off, but I looked back at the back of the bus and one little girl was still sitting back there and she didn't want to get off. So I sent everyone else away, but I got her counselor that was assigned to her and to come on with me. And we just sat there with her until she felt comfortable getting off. And so that was Monday morning when they arrived. Thursday evening, as they were all getting ready for bed, I happened to be checking on that cabin just to help them. It's hard getting a bunch of kids settled down after a fun day every day. And so I was helping out, and I found Lisa in the empty bedroom across the hall hiding under the bed. And so I laid down and just was like, hey, Lisa, what's going on? And she's like, I'm just going to stay here. And like, until when? She's like, until next year. Like, she didn't want to go home. So in just the 4 days, and this was one who, we have a very long application process that the foster caregivers have to tell us their triggers. Like, we don't ask the specifics of what abuse they might have experienced, but we don't want to trigger them. And so Lisa was one who had PTSD on her back. From whatever her trauma was. Like, you can't come up behind her and just tap her on the back, like that would freak her out. And so in 4 days, for her to feel the love and safety and comfortableness that she wanted to stay there next year. And I told her, we're all going home. Camp doesn't happen, once you leave, it's not like other kids come in. I'm like, we're all going home. You're gonna be all by yourself here with the spiders under the bed. She goes, okay. Like, she just wanted to stay there to keep that experience going. So we appreciate, and you guys did make a monetary donation to Roll from the Kids last year, so you were part of making that possible for these kiddos, and we just thank you for your support, your love, and your prayers, and any way you want to get involved with this. Thank you.
On behalf of Pioneer Lions, I would like to present both of you with a mug. Then put your favorite beverage in and an application if you'd like to become a Pioneer Lion.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do the announcements. Board meeting Thursday, 7 a.m. Kelso Elks, tomorrow morning, 7 at the shop. At the lake for Christmas lights, and what they don't finish tomorrow, they will do Saturday morning at 9. Bell ringing December 14th. Paul Spears has a sign-up sheet. Toy run December 1st at Kelso Elks at noon. Walk and knock December 7th. Christmas party December 6th here, I believe.